What is going on, guys? Welcome to another YouTube video. Now, I did a recent weapon review of the Dresden 9mm, aka the German MP40, and another user had just commented on that video saying, what would you run on an 8 attach if you don't mind sharing? Alrighty, bro, I got you right over here. So we're gonna start with the muzzle. Okay, we got the muzzle brake. This is gonna give you additional recoil control. The CHF barrel is gonna give you a very good neck multiplier, so as long as you hit neck and up, you're gonna be good. Everyone needs an extended mag too. Very heavy, very easy for recoil control. Then we got the commando grip. We don't want sprint to fire, we don't want ADS, we want a little bit of both. And then we got the light stock, a little bit of movement here and there, wiggle. Then we also have the fast motion laser because we want some fast, we want the motion, and we want the laser. And then we got rapid fire, and then just to top it all off for that additional range, we're gonna do the VMF variable scope. So we're gonna test this out in the firing range just to show you how effective this weapon is. We're gonna be shooting this test dummy at 50 meters. I'm gonna be landing all my shot on this zoom without even looking. What is going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. My name is Pure Noble. I'm just a fellow Call of Duty player that likes to nerd out on everything Call of Duty related. We talk about the season changes, we talk about Call of Duty news, we talk about weapon balancing, we talk about the new weapon reviews, we talk about tips and tricks here and there that I learned as a Call of Duty player that I hope that I can instill to all new Call of Duty players out there that are just coming onto the scene. But if anything, guys, I hope you enjoy the rest of this video. Keep killing it out there. Okay, user, if you're actually watching this video, please don't use that build. Please don't. Okay, I'm so sorry, I'm just joking around. This is an actual 8 attachment build that I think you should try. So we're gonna go with the suppressor. Reason being is because the horizontal is good, even though the vertical and the gun kick is gonna be high stat wise for this gun. With adding the suppressor, it removes that visual clutter that I see a lot with this flash on the Dresden 9mm. So I think adding that suppressor, even though it doesn't have any actual recoil benefit, just hiding the flash itself is gonna make it better as a weapon. Then we got the long barrel. Reason why we go with long barrel rather than like a high velocity or reinforce is because long barrel is going to take it to its 19-meter range, and plus we got the high bullet velocity already with the Dresden 9mm that's going to match with that long barrel. Then we got extended mag 1. I always use extended mag 1 just because I want to keep that ADS and sprint to fire speed. I feel like the additional bullets that you're going to not need for the 9mm Dresden is not necessary to go with extended mag 2. Then of course, as always, because it's an SMG, I want to use CQB grip. I'm very mobile. I want to also have major sprint to fire. And then you can either go with no stock or combat stock. If you just want more additional movement speed in general, then go with the no stock. But if you are that type of player that utilizes aim speed movement, that's going to be your combat stock. So go with the combat stock if you are. Then we're going to add the target lasers for that aim idle sway delay, and then recoil springs just to smooth out everything as you consistently fire the weapon. And to throw you guys for another loop, the Dresden is actually not what I want to talk about in this video. We talked about how the Model L got a maximum and minimum damage range update and buff in Season 6, in which I thought was going to push it past with the Kilo 141's meta, because when you calculate the damage output for both minimum and maximum ranges actually hit harder than the Kilo 141. Therefore, I thought the TTK was going to be lower and more consistent. So I went to the firing range to do additional testing. If I took the dummy at the 10-meter range, right, the Kilo 141 time to kill is going to be about 640 to 656, and this is going to be very consistent. Every time that I hit chest and up, it's going to be around 624 to 640. Even when I go into the middle torso, right, the damage is still consistent, being 640 to 656. Now we take it to the Model L. If you do chest and up, right, you're getting a consistent 624. This is really good. I even got it down to 592 sometimes, so that's even comparable right there, 592, comparable to the GPR 91. But check this out, the moment instead of trying to shoot upper chest and I go lower, say closer to its waist and stomach, TTK drastically changes. I'm getting 688 to 700. Let's do it again. Look at that, 800, it's even worse. So using the Model L, I'm going to get consistently lower TTKs than the Kilo 141 as long as I shoot chest and up. That's why even for the medium range at 25 meters, it's a hit or miss in regards to consistency. Sometimes I'll hit 600, but most times I'll average between 7 to 800. You'll get the same results with the Kilo 141, but you'll have a higher chance of getting somewhere around 600 to 640. And the reason why that's the case with the Kilo 141 is because it's more forgiving. If you look at the shot placement damage values on the neck,
chest, and even lower abdomen, it's all at a consistent 34 damage. Now you compare that to the Model L, where the neck and upper chest is going to be high damage at 44, but the moment you go into that middle section abdomen, it drops all the way down to 37. And because of that 37 damage on that mid-lower torso, that's the reason why the TTKs can feel sometimes inconsistent with the Model L, because when you're shooting at longer ranges right here, you don't know if your shots are actually hitting all upper chest. It could be going right between it where it's hitting lower and upper, and you're mixing those shot damage values. And it doesn't help for the fact that the Model L also has more additional recoil. So when you're trying to control that recoil and you're trying to do that pull down, if you don't have it exactly right, you pull down way too much and you start to shoot in that lower abdomen, aka the 37 damage value area. So as annoying as it might be and how I would want the meta to change every season, unfortunately when you consider the Kilo 141's damage value that's across the board from both all the way up to the neck to the lower abdomen, you're gonna get more consistent damage. So even though at this 10-meter range, if you're not hitting consistently, say all headshots, the Model L will win. But the moment you get past that 10 meters and hitting 25-meter target dummies, or say even farther, the Model L's recoil is not going to help the player's case in consistently hitting upper chest and neck to get that same TTK to beat the Kilo. Because the Kilo has a bigger damage value area, it is more forgiving in regards to both recoil and shot placement. You don't have to specifically hit chest and up. So at a 25-meter target dummy, even if you hit the abdomen, the TTK is going to stay consistent compared to how you hit a 10-meter dummy. But hey, don't take my word for it, try it out for yourself. And I think a lot of players agree that the Kilo overall still has high utility. But hey, say you're that really good player that knows how to control recoil, that knows how to get that right shot placement, try it out. You're still going to have slightly faster TTK than the Kilo 141. But in my experience on me trying to control recoil, I'm fairly okay with it. I would say every time that I knock down the 25-meter dummy, out of the 5 or 6 times, maybe I'll get one that has a consistently good TTK. So if you want a chance having good TTK, killing 1 out of every 6 enemies, sure, go for it. But that's the reason why the Kilo still stands tall for Season 6.
And that's all we're going to have for this video, folks. If this video gave you any additional insight and context that you did enjoy, that gave you value, please drop a like on the video. It helps it tremendously in the algorithm. And if you enjoy the content overall and you also want to nerd out with Call of Duty with me, please drop a sub to the channel. We'd love to see you here for the next video, okay? But as always, stay pure, stay noble, and hashtag bring back honest gaming. Later, guys.